You're listening to Ask When, the podcast. Folks from all walks of life talk about their daily hustle and bustle, living and celebrating life, sharing tips on becoming champions, especially for those who are muscling mental and physical disabilities. Ask When, the podcast, with your host, who has mustered over 30 years living with cerebral palsy and going strong, author and cerebral palsy advocate, Wynn Charles. Ask When, the podcast starts right now.
Welcome to Ask When, everyone. This afternoon, I have Miss Sonia with me, and Miss Sonia and I are going to be talking about her amazing story and how we met. And I am not part of Sonia's company, although I thought about it, but I am part of a multi-level marketing company called Audubon. And so Sonia and I are going to be talking about the company that she is part of. And just to let you guys know, that multi-level marketing is a form of social networking now, because in the time of coronavirus. And so for those of you who've been to a Pampered Chef party, it's not like that anymore. It's you can do it virtually from your computer. And so Sonia's going to share a little bit about her company and why she decided to join. And then we'll just have a natural conversation. For those of you that have got laid off, this may be a good income stream for you, depending on how you work it. And so with that, I'm going to let Miss Sonia take it away.
Well, thank you, Wynn. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's really an honor, especially to be talking with someone like you who is just so inspiring. And you seem like such a fearless person who is just so limitless. So I really, really appreciate you asking me to be on. And I'll tell you how, my story and how I got involved with network marketing. It was really kind of accidental, to be honest. It was around 7 years ago. And I was working about 60 to 70 hours a week as a real estate broker. I'd been in real estate for a long time. And then during the crash of 2008, I decided to get my broker's license and start my own brokerage, which actually, believe it or not, worked out really well. So anyway, so I was doing that. And then I was also a caregiver for my mother, who at the time, the last 2 years of her life, she was living in our house with us. So my husband and I were her caregivers, and she was elderly and she had dementia and was really completely dependent on us. Really didn't have much independence at all. So we were doing that. And both of us, my husband was doing real estate investing and flipping houses and rentals and things like that. So we had a lot going on between the two of us, and we're really stretched, lots on our plate. And we were really not feeling great. We weren't feeling our best. And both of us were waking up every morning exhausted. We were, not sleeping well and had put on weight. And what often happens as a caregiver, whether it's, maybe you're caring for an elderly parent or you're caring for a small child, whatever it may be, I find that often what happens, and this is what happened to me, is you're taking care of the person that you're doing the caregiving for, as well as maybe everybody else in your family. And the last person you take care of is yourself.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened. So anyway, so that's where we, both of us, we were just drained and we were stressed. And one of my cousins was posting something on his Facebook about some products that he loved. And that particular cousin, I knew him to be a total health nut, really knowledgeable, really very, very knowledgeable about ingredients and what should be in food and what shouldn't be in food. And he had really done his homework. and had really adopted that lifestyle. Like he really walked the talk. So when I saw him saying something about these products and I knew that he was consuming them himself, then I was like, okay, I trust him. I don't need to research it. I couldn't give him my credit card fast enough. I knew it was like top of the line if he was consuming it. So this is a guy that at a family wedding brought his own food. So, one of those, but that's him. So that's why I really trusted him. And my husband and I did this program called the Transformation, and we had the most profound results because we were, for a period of time the protocol is, our bodies were completely devoid of processed foods. And I mean, there's so much bad stuff in food today that people aren't even aware of. And things that we think are healthy or marketed as healthy, they're not. And that's kind of where I was. I was buying some of those things that were marketed as being healthy, but they really were just greenwashed. They really had ingredients in them that were not good. So we became completely devoid of anything like that and just flooded our body with these nutrient-dense superfoods and felt amazing. And just a few days in, we were both waking up like at 6 a.m., ready to take on the day, not wanting to go back to sleep like before. And we just had this profound change in how we felt. So that's why I said it kind of happened accidentally as far as getting into the business, because it was an incredible product experience that caused me to want to talk about this to everyone, just like we do. And you probably do this, Wynn, and I think we all do this. We find a great hairdresser we like, we tell everybody. We find a great contractor, we tell everybody, we recommend them. And I think we just naturally do that. And word of mouth is very powerful. So I wanted to tell everybody. And I knew all these realtors, like I know they're all going through drive-throughs like I was, and they're just out of convenience. They're running around like crazy and, just doing compromises of convenience. So I started sharing, and I remembered that the company, it's called Purium. I remember they said they had a gift card marketing program. I had heard a little something about that. And I thought, hey, I'm talking about this anyway. The company's saying they have this gift card program and they're willing to reward me for sharing. Why wouldn't I? I'm a business person. So even though I wasn't looking to add another business to my plate with everything else I had going on, I also like goals, and I like success. And I was like, hey, they're willing to pay. Why leave the money on the table? It's kind of fun to be rewarded. So, and at the same time, helping people. That's what was so beautiful about it. Something I would have talked about anyway, whether I got paid to do it or not. So, so that's what happened. And within a few months of just this, kind of talking about this and sharing this program with people, and those people in turn having great results, and now they wanted to share it, and they just kept snowballing. Within a few months, I remember one Friday, because we get paid weekly and monthly, so it was one of the weeklies, and I said to my husband, did you see the direct deposit that we got from Purium today? Because it's like we just got another rental property, but we didn't have to buy the property. It was equal to the rent from one of our rental properties. And I had noticed like every month it kept going up, the total of the weeklies and the monthlies. And I was just kind of shocked when I saw that it was equal to that, because we were always looking for another deal, like another real estate deal, another house to add to our portfolio. But it's a huge capital investment. And there's a lot of expenses that go with it too. And
oh, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
So not only expenses, but headaches.
I say that in a minute, but you're not kidding. Now go ahead and I'll say my piece.
Okay. So that really got my attention, because I'm like, okay, we didn't have to buy the house. And this is all as a result of just me sharing something that I love, that other people are in turn sharing because they're enjoying it and they're loving it. This is like incredible. So it made me think, okay, if I was a little bit more deliberate and really focused, like made a strategic focused effort with this, what would happen? Because I could see how it was starting to grow and really snowball and start having that exponential growth, like where it really was getting traction. So I decided to do that and really focus more on it. And within a year and a half of starting, of when we started the products, I was able to replace my multiple six-figure real estate income with this. So real estate is a great profession. I love it. It's in my blood. And I love real estate investing. I actually like the investing part more now, but there's a lot of great things about it. The money's great. You know, if you apply yourself and you're a go-getter and you get out there, the money is great. There's gratification, helping people find a house they love and they're happy and everything. But the downside was I didn't have any free time, pretty much. I felt like I was on demand 24/7 with it.
Yeah.
And couldn't go on a vacation without ending up working the whole time. You know, like a contract came in, which is a good thing, but the offers and contracts would always come in like the day before you're getting ready to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Somehow that always
Yeah.
happens that way.
Yeah.
And then I ended up working the whole time, and it wasn't residual, and there was no leverage because I had a very small, and I still have my brokerage, very small office with just a couple people. I didn't have a huge team, and it wasn't residual. You know, you sell a property, you get a commission one time, and then you move on and you got to find the next deal. So it wasn't paying over and over like network marketing does, where you have the residual aspect. That's a really beautiful thing. Like that was next level for me. And then you have the leverage, the power of leverage, where you're getting paid on the efforts of the collective and you're helping other people be successful. And in turn, that helps you be successful. So it's really a collective effort, and it's not based on your own efforts only, where it was pretty much in real estate. It was based on me. If I didn't work, I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So,
No.
and that's most jobs are.
And in education, it was for me the same way. If I didn't work, I didn't get paid. So, and I got paid measly once a month, and that's it. But with network marketing, you can get paid as you sleep. If you are good enough at it, where you can have a huge network. And now, granted, I'm just starting out with Auburn, and so I haven't built a team yet. But hopefully, I'm putting this out to the universe, you guys. By the end of June, I hope that people will discover Auburn by me and join my team, or join Sonia's team at Purium, because multi-level networking is a blessing in disguise, and now that will shifting the paradigm of how we work. Yeah, multi-level marketing, if you play it right, you can do a killing.
Yeah, it's an incredible business model. And one thing that has been so gratifying to me is I have several people on my team who are making six figures, and they are going to Europe and traveling. Like a lot of them have a passion for travel. Obviously they're grounded right now. They're not really traveling, but prior to this situation and after, they will be. But these are people who I personally enrolled and personally mentored, and they have gotten to that level, and they're so grateful. And some of them are people that initially told me they weren't interested, which is the ironic thing. But sometimes people have misconceptions and they don't quite understand how it works. And they maybe don't even have any experience in network marketing, but they've just heard something. And it's important to drill down and ask the questions and find out, what they know about it or what their perspective is. So these people are grateful. They're like, thank you so much for being persistent, for not giving up on me. This is a dream job. This is like the best thing I've ever done. So that makes me so happy. It's so fun, and you become great friends with these people too. Like attracts like kind of thing, like people with the same vibe and ambition and energy. So it's just an all around incredible business model.
And so, Sonia, what is your favorite book?
So honestly, my favorite book for network marketing, if we're on that topic, like very, very
Yes,
specific?
we can be, but I was talking about in general.
Oh, in general?
Like,
Okay.
give me the network marketing and then give me the
Okay.
general.
Okay, yeah. So the network marketing one that I had already gotten into it, and I was just like trying to devour every book I could find on the subject because I knew nothing about it. So one of the first ones I read, and this is the one I give to all my team members because it's such an eye opener. It's called The 4-Year Career by Richard Bliss Brooke. And his wife, Kimmy Brooke, she has a version also called The 4-Year Career for Women. So I usually give every new team member, the ones that are really showing like they're motivated, they want to do this, both books. I give them one of each, but it's really good because it breaks down how this works, how the business model works. It's a generic book. It's not about any one company. And he's been in the industry like 40 years, Richard Brooke. He's amazing. And it shows how this grows exponentially and like the geometric progression, how it works. So it's in 4 years, basically, the gist of it is in 4 years, you can have a career and build a business and asset income that pays you for years and years and years versus working 40 years and waiting for a pension, or something like that. So it really explains that. There's so many great books. One of the ones I love, it's a little tiny book. I mean, it's a pretty quick read. It's called Bringing Out the Best in People by Alan Loy McGinnis. A friend of mine sent it to me, and I love it. It's a great book on mentorship, leadership, interpersonal relationships with people. It's an awesome little, powerful little book. And one I'm reading right now, but I just started it, but so far I love it, is called Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. So I'm digging into that one right now.
We're digging into that one. And for those who want to join Sonia, be my guest, join Sonia, or join me at Audubon, be my guest and that. And as Sonia said, we're now, I just started, but we're now making an income that will help us for the rest of our lives instead of doing the rat ways of 9 to 5. And so, Sonia, if your BFF had to write a book about you, what would the title be?
My BFF, her name is Lisa. We've known each other forever, and we're very much alike. The title would probably be A Tale of Obsessive Focus, because she knows how I am. Something like that. She just knows how obsessive I get when I love something and I'm passionate about it, and I just get like super focused on it, hyper focused.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so that is the tale of the hyper-focused woman. Yeah. I can see why. I can see why, because you are so passionate about what you're doing, and I am so passionate about Audubon, you guys, even though Audubon is new to me. I can easily talk about Audubon for hours and hours and hours, but not now. But Sonia, what is your morning routine?
So I need to get better, to be honest, at a morning routine, because I just hired a trainer, and that's going to be my morning routine, is getting a workout in. But for right now, what I'm doing, because I'm not starting with him till a little while, with current circumstances and everything. But I get up, I play with my pets a little bit because I have a dog and a cat, and I think that I think playing with pets, like when you're hugging someone, releases oxytocin or something, like some kind of feel good hormone. They're relaxing, and I'll have like a lemon water, or if I don't have a lemon water, I'll have a green juice. So it's kind of more like health type of stuff like that. And then I'll get on my social media and check my emails and check my text messages, because I have a team that's all over the place. So when I wake up in the morning, I typically have a bunch of text messages that came in overnight from California, because they're 3 hours behind. I'm in Florida on the East Coast, East Coast, West Coast of Florida, East Coast of the United States.
Yeah.
So I just kind of catch up on all that stuff, check my schedule for the day. I usually have lots of calls and Zooms booked during the day, like a little later on in the day.
Yeah. So Yeah, it sounds like your morning routine is going to change, which is always a good thing. Spice it up a little.
Yeah, add a little bit more self-care in there with
Oh,
working
yes.
out.
Oh, yes. And Sonia, I know you have questions for me. So as we wrap this interview up, what are they?
So I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to start a podcast? You're so accomplished, and it looks like I said at the beginning, you're so limitless, and there's so many different things that you've done, writing books, and so what inspired you to do a podcast?
Well, when I wrote the original book, I, comma, win, thought the day I hit the publish button, which was in October 20th of 2010, and I thought, great, now the book is published. How am I supposed to market the dang thing? Well, first I tried YouTube. Second, YouTube was a disaster and a half, and I will tell you why. Because YouTube, you have to leave your computer open and leave your phone open and leave it on the app. And people said, I want to support you, but I don't want to leave my computer open because I'm working and everything else. So I said, okay, fine. There goes my YouTube stardom right out the door. And then I tried Blog Talk Radio. That was also a disaster and a half. Then I got brave enough to jump on a Facebook group and ask, well, how do you do this podcasting thing? Because at the time when I was writing my book, I was also listening to a creative writing podcast called The Creative Pen out of the UK, Joanna Penn. And so I was a listener of a podcast, but when I type it in to, at the time, iTunes, cerebral palsy, nothing, and I'm not kidding when I say this, nothing came up. So I thought, bingo, that's my niche. And so then I started researching and gave it a whirl, and it stuck. So for the past 5 years, almost 6, I have recorded over 13,000 episodes, and yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. 13,000. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
So, okay, and then who was your, like, in general or in business or in general, who was your first mentor who really made an impact on you?
Well, I have to cheat because I happen to live with this person, and a lot of people don't know that my dad was a solo entrepreneur, and my mom was a solo entrepreneur for a little while, but up until she had me, and then she gave up. But well, she didn't give up. She decided to devote her time to be a full-time mom. But that's wonderful. But my dad stuck with it up until my mom died, which was in 2010, and then he decided to retire to take care of me. So my first business mentor and family member happened to be my dad, because I saw him going to work every day. I saw him at the office in grind, and yeah.
And he had his own business?
Yeah, he had his own business from 92 to 2010.
Wow. What kind of business was it?
It was home entertainment. Home entertainment.
Mhm.
So basically, before the Internet of Things, he was doing sound equipment in homes where we are based, Aspen, Carlisle, and he did a really good job at it. And then, yeah. So basically, my entrepreneurial spirit comes from my business mentor, my dad, who I unfortunately lost in May of last year to a heart attack.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's okay. And I lost my mom in 2010.
Mhm.
So, yep. So, but when I when I got laid off from my job, it was the most blessing in disguise because my dad said I could never, ever, ever work for a boss. He worked for a boss for a little while. His boss happened to be Bob Dylan. Thank you very much.
Wow.
And so, and his as a boss happened to be the Pink Floyd and Dolly Parton and John Denver. So, yeah, professional sound engineers, what original career before he became a solo entrepreneur. And so once he got back here off the road, he decided to stay here, stay put, but he never went back to work from 92 to 2010.
Mhm. Well, he sounds like he was an amazing man,
Oh,
and
yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
so awesome that you had a role model like him.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. So I, and I always have the I will always be blessed by his entrepreneurial spirit.
Oh yeah, for sure. My dad was an entrepreneur as well. The typical immigrant story that you hear. You know, he came here, didn't speak any English. He came from Greece and had $20 in his pocket. That story, but it's true. And you know, I think he tried working for people a couple times and just it wasn't for him.
He
So
gave it up. He gave it up.
yeah,
Now,
he had a
when
restaurant.
I gave up my job, I had a W-2 job. I unfortunately got laid off. And they, of course, contacted me, funny enough, last night and asked me for something. I'm like, great that you guys are still contacting me, asking me for something. And I gave it to him. And I said to the person who was asking me, I said, I won't be returning. I won't be re-entering the workforce. I will be working on my own and taking care of my house and managing me. And they're like, okay, she's an entrepreneur, but I do have the education background. But I'm happy as an entrepreneur.
It's the best. There's nothing
Yep,
like it.
yep, exactly. So, Sonia, where can people find you if they choose to do so? And how can people join PIM if they also choose to do so?
Okay, well, thank you for this opportunity to share that. So my Instagram is at Sonia, Sonia underscore Magruder, Magruder. And then I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Sonia Magruder, spelled the same, obviously. And my email is Sonia M, Sonia M is in Magruder, at magrudergroup.com. And there's a really great promo going on right now with Purium because the owners are very heart-centered, very mission-based. They're also very eco-conscious. They've made a commitment to go plastic-free by 2021, just as a little side point. But we have this promo going on where you get 30 days of certified organic superfoods, immune support. It's an incredible package. It breaks down to 2 meals a day plus immune support supplementation. And that package comes out to 2 meals a day, $11 a day, and you get a free business with it. You get your referral codes that you can share. But because so many people have lost their jobs right now, or they're on furlough, or whatever the situation was because of the COVID-19, situation, they have added another pack. It's still 30 days of superfoods, but it's one meal a day. And that one is $179, and they can add their business and their own referral codes for free immediately, and they can get paid the very next week. They can start making money right away. So it can really be a lifeline for people that are trying to figure out how they're going to pay their bills, or maybe they're waiting on their unemployment check, or whatever the case may be. So that's what the two specials we have going on right now that are amazing, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it. And we get them onboarded right away. There's mentorship, whether, if they're working directly with me, I'm mentoring them. If they're working with another leader on our team, they're getting mentorship and support from that person as well as me, because we want to help them make their first check right away. Like, we help them have a win within their first 10 days. So anyway, so that's what's going on with that. Can I give my phone number too, Wynn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So my phone number is 727-422-2031. And as I said before, I'm on the East Coast, so I'm in Florida, Eastern time zone.
Eastern time zone. You guys, I'm actually going to give my phone number as well, and I'll connect to you with Alban, and I'll do all that. I'll even connect to you if you weren't paying attention to Sonia's little speech. I'll even connect to you with Sonia if you just want to tell me you want to join PAM. I'll shoot you over to Sonia, and we'll make it work. My phone number 970-618-8840. You guys, it's out there, it's public, and so you guys are more than welcome to contact me and figure out about Alban, and then figure out about PAM with Sonia. And I hope this episode helped you guys. And for right now, stay safe, stay strong, stay happy. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks to you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Wynn.
You just listened to Ask Wynn, the podcast. To become a guest in the show, visit our website at askwyn.weebly.com or call 816-591-3399. Just look for Danielle. Connect with Wynn on Twitter at Wynn Kelly Charles, and like our Facebook page at Butterflies of Wisdom. You can also purchase Wynn's book through Amazon.com or get a copy of the audiobook through Audible. Ask Wynn, the podcast.